in check. I think I put off buying a dress because I was so nervous about giving a speech. Because I am an adult film actress, director, and dancer, when I meet people, they usually have some nagging question about what gives me the nerve to think I can do something. How do I do porn or take my clothes off on stage in clubs? Or take on the President of the United States? No, the thing that amazes me most about this past year is that I can speak in front of people. Because when I was a student at Scotlandville Magnet High School in my hometown of Baton Rouge, sure, I got straight A's, but I always took a 0 rather than talk in front of the class. My fear was so crippling, my voice so shaky, that I could not get out of my seat. The first time this happened was in 9th grade, an oral book report on Little Women. Of course, I read it. I read everything I could back then, and Jo March was the perfect character for me to talk about, because just like me, she wanted to be a writer. More than that, I identified with Jo's frustration with what the world was ready to allow a girl to do. And no, I did not think she should have married old Professor Bear. Sorry if that is a spoiler, but if you narrowed your next read down to this one or Little Women, you need to examine your life choices. But I couldn't get my voice to come out. I took a straight-up F, and did so every time an assignment called for public speaking. I didn't want people looking at me, judging me, which is exactly what has happened ever since March, when I gave 60 Minutes a free interview that was worth millions. It was important to me that I go to a reputable, impartial news source when I first set the record straight about Donald Trump's personal attorney repeatedly trying to get me to lie about a sexual encounter I had with the president in 2006. The interview covered what happened in a hotel room and later when my life was threatened in a parking lot. But it wasn't the full story. It didn't cover the why of my decisions and the real personal costs to me. I was starring in films I wrote and directed in LA, then going home to my suburban life with my husband and 7-year-old daughter in Texas. It's the life I dreamed of and worked hard to have, and I have to keep reminding myself that that life is over. For all I've lost, I deserve the chance to defend myself and state all the facts. That's why I chose to share what you are about to hear. I'm also doing this for all the people who have come to see me dance in my shows, waiting in longer and longer lines to take a photo with me and share a moment. I have been dancing in clubs since I was 17. As my fan base grew over 2 decades of work in film and feature dancing, my demographic was usually middle-aged white men. 45 to 65-year-old white dudes. Republicans, basically. I lost a lot of them, and that's their choice. This is, after all, America. They were replaced and outnumbered by people of color, gay men, and lots of white women in their 40s. These are people who have never come to strip clubs before, and there's a learning curve to a strip club. My old crowd was well versed in the etiquette, thank you. If they specifically came to see me, it meant they were into adult entertainment, so they had likely been to a convention or at least seen another porn star at a strip club. They know how to act. They don't take pictures during the show, and they definitely don't grab me to tell me they love me. Because I'm in heels, and if a guy pulls me, I will fall. And a bouncer will throw him out, roadhouse style. If you're familiar with the term new money, you will understand the concept of new strip club patron. And now my shows are full of them. The gay men seem to fall into 2 categories, the good timers and the witnesses to history, and I love them both. I can't tell you how many times men from the former group have told me, this is the first time we ever paid to get into a strip club that has a vagina. A lot of them come with props for the meet and greet photos, like bags of Cheetos or a Make America Gay Again hat. The latter group of gay men is more emotional, and after the show they talk to me about feeling bullied by an administration that makes their marriages and freedoms seem less safe. Their fear is real, and when they confide in me, it comes from an authentic place. It was shared by my gay dads, the family I chose in my 20s when I gave up on my biological parents. Keith and J.D. were 2 of the only people who knew that I had a secret about Trump pre-election. And there was a time after the 2016 election when their concerns about their upcoming marriage turned into resentment of me for not coming forward and upending my life to save theirs. I realized the women were coming out to see me when I started getting hurt Facebook messages from strangers some mornings after my shows. We came to support you, but they didn't let us in. Packs of single women were coming to the clubs in groups of 4 or 5, only to be turned away by bouncers. Normally,